the time I was in the Middle East. Quick story and final thought. And we were talking to one of the four founders of Hamas, muscle-bound guy. The Archbishop of Canterbury took 5 of us. We were meeting with Israeli leaders and Palestinian leaders. And this guy was hostile. He spent years in prison. He could barely get a word, and he was so argumentative. His room was full of tobacco smoke. And after about several hours, the Archbishop said to the 5 of us, would each one of you men like to ask one question? So I asked mine. I won't tell you the question, it's a private conversation, but I can tell you this, I didn't like his answer. And so I looked at him and I said, sir, I really don't like your answer. I have to be honest with you. I said, can I tell you something? Not far from where you and I are sitting 5,000 years ago, a man by the name of Abraham took his son up the hill and was going to offer him as a sacrifice. I said, you remember the story? He said, yes. I said, please, let's not debate which son. Let's just agree. He took his son up that hill to offer him as a sacrifice. He said, that's right. I said, as the axe is about to come down, God stops it. Remember that? He said, yes. I said, what did God say? He didn't know. I said, God said, stop. I myself will provide. He said, that's right. Stop. I myself will provide. I said, very close to where you and I are sitting in Ramallah is another hill. 2,000 years ago, God took his own son up that hill, and this time the axe did not stop. He just stared at me. I said, Sheikh, until you and I receive the son God has provided, we'll be offering our own sons and daughters on the battlefields of this world for position and power and land and prestige. I myself got shocked that I said that. I'd never thought of it before, leave alone saying it. And so the Archbishop says, well, I guess it's time to go now. So we left. I thought, boy, I've blown this big time. And as I was walking, I felt this arm around me, and it was the Archbishop. He leaned over and said, Ravi, that was of God. I said, I sure hope so. I don't know what I said. So we went down the steps. And the Archbishop is the guest of honor. They're ushering him in. So the 5 of us are going, I'm still in the daze, whether in the body or out of the body, I couldn't tell. And I hear somebody running behind me, and he comes and twirls me around. It's the Sheikh. I said, that's it. I'm going to be buried here in Ramallah. It's over. This guy can have me for dinner tonight. And then he looked at me and stared me eyeball to eyeball, holding on to my shoulders. And then he patted me on both sides of the face. He said, Mr. Zacharias. I said, yes, sir. He said, you're a good man. You're a good man. I hope I will see you again someday. And he gave me a big, solid bear hug. And as he pulled himself away, I looked at his eyes, and he's wiping the tears off. I don't know what happened. Following, I've never been back to be able to see him. I'm watched carefully when I go there. But a word in season can bring to fruit that which only God can nurture and nourish. And I say to you, ask God for wisdom. We're not picking a fight. We're looking for answers.